So Disney did this whole thing where they brought out a bunch of people and talked about how great things are and showed us how cool the future's gonna be. And a little thing called D23. Lord Almighty, where do we start? I think
so bad.
I think let's talk about the only good thing, which is Moana 2.
Yes.
Moana 2 gave us more of an understanding of what the plot is going to be. I'm much more interested in this movie now that I've seen this. I think it looks dynamic and fun. I also think that this is the kind of movie that could easily be cratered by really annoying hangers-on. If the party that she puts together to go out and find this island is full of obnoxious people that are supposed to be funny, but they're not funny, it will sink the movie. So, very curious, more optimistic than I was. Do you have any thoughts on Moana 2?
I had the same thought I'm excited for, because I do love Moana, and seeing it, and like you said, getting a better understanding, get a little more insight, and it is visually... I remember the first time I saw Moana 1 was on a 4K TV, and I remember thinking, holy shit, this is one of the most beautifully animated things I've ever seen in my life. Like, the water... The
water is so amazing.
Unbelievable. And I got that same vibe from this trailer. I'm like, this looks like it's going to be gorgeous.
Well, when I saw that Moana has a sister, I got really nervous.
Yeah.
Really nervous. But I love that scene where she's introducing her sister to the ocean and showing her how the ocean kind of moves with her and all these other things. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, she's the grandmother figure now. So, yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic, but I am very optimistic.
That is literally the only thing that came out of D23 where I was like, I like it. Let's go for it. So
you are correct, sir.
Toy Story 5, there's nothing to talk about because
it should have ended with 3.
I
like 4.
Yeah,
should have ended with 3.
I don't even like 4. I don't dislike 4.
It's
I nothing 4.
Yeah.
4 to me will forever be the epitome of
money grab.
Well, basically.
Yes.
But basically the idea of show me that we need this story.
Yes.
Show me that this is an integral, important part of the story that we need, and that this isn't just franchising.
Yeah.
And it was 100% just franchising.
And I'll be honest, I'm ashamed of Tom Hanks because he believes in good storytelling and he has plenty of money.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, Toy Story 3, the same as Indiana Jones 3, had the greatest ending.
The best ending that
you
it could have.
You could never write a better ending.
Yeah.
The ending. And they fuck it up by doing another one. It's like, why? Why had the fucking ending.
Well, and like now we're backtracking even further because Woody at the end of Toy Story 4 leaves his friends.
Yeah.
He stays with Bo. He's like, I'm beyond having a kid. I'm gonna go out and explore life as it is.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Woody's back with the gang. So I guess that just didn't work out. Yeah, no, I'm not thrilled about this. I would rather you just do Toy Story with different toys.
And I will have to disagree on I just thought about this. Even though we didn't see anything or really hear anything, I was excited to hear about Incredibles 3. I like the second one.
I was so hot and cold on the second one. There were so many elements of the second one that I just didn't love.
See, the Jack Raccoon scene by itself.
I love the Jack stuff.
That scene by itself gives... I'll watch that movie a million times.
I like about 75% of the Elastigirl stuff. A lot of the stuff with Bob really was cringy for me. I did not love it.
Well, it was just too...
Well, it was that old tale that fathers don't know how to care for children.
Shit and make them look dumb.
And it's like, no, that's fucking... He should still be a competent dad. Yeah. Like, that's annoying and outdated and belittling. Like, why are we doing this? Why are we still saying that this is the way people are?
Yeah.
Why aren't we showing them as three-dimensional? If Helen can join the workforce as smoothly and sleekly as she does, why can't Bob also go home and be able to take care of the kids? Because Bob's a boy, and boys don't take care of kids.
But I am excited for that. I'm hoping they don't fuck it up.
Yeah, I want them not to fuck it up because I would love a mulligan after Incredibles 2, which I saw the trailer for and I was like, see that I feel the same way about Incredibles as I do about Toy Story 3, where there was a long time there where I wanted more. Unlike Toy Story 3, I didn't feel that way about Toy Story 3. I felt like after a while when they didn't make anything, this is where it should stay. It should just be this. It's this holy bauble. We never did anything else with it. It was perfect. We just left it alone. And nope. Can't do that. This is Disney. The vault doubles as a money-making device.
Oh yeah, they need to make some money.
Yeah. So I don't have a ton to say on Skeleton Crew, except that you can't feed. I mean, you can. If we're looking at Star Wars as a pig, and Disney is just feeding different things to it, then you can't regurgitate the 80s and feed that to the pig.
Oh, you're talking the Goonies in space, pretty much?
The whole of it!
Yeah.
All of it! They literally have suburbs!
Yeah.
When have you ever seen suburbs in Star Wars? And the kids are just sitting there, like kids at home being like, oh, Jedi! And they're reading books and looking at comics. And I'm just like, this is not Star Wars! This is an ad for the far, far away land. Like, this isn't... What is this? And then Jude Law shows up at the end like it's gonna save everything.
Oh, Jude Law Jedi. Yeah, I don't know about
and I'm
that.
just like, no. This might be the first Star Wars thing that I fully skip.
Well, and I wish they would just flat out say, I won't skip it because I'll have to watch it with my son.
Yeah.
I wish they would just have flat out said, this is the first Star Wars children's show.
Yeah.
Just say it.
Well, it can't be.
Obviously what it is.
But what about Ewoks, Steve? Oh. What about Ewoks? The real first Star Wars TV show.
Yeah, but those Ewoks actually ate the stormtroopers, and they just didn't come out.
I know!
Yes. But, like, this one is, like, it was, when I was watching it, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is the fucking Goonies in space. I wonder if there's One-Eye Willie somewhere.
Well, like, they did that shot that's in... it's in Goonies. It's in The Gate. It's in Poltergeist. It's in, like, the shot looking out over the hill at suburbia and all of these cookie cutter homes and perfect lawns. They have that shot. It's in E.T.
Yeah. Now it's in fucking Star
Wars. Not okay!
You know what? Part of me is happy to see the decline continue. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
I am deeply not looking forward to this. Speaking of things I'm deeply not looking forward to, Snow White, which is just a masterclass in shooting your foot and then proceeding to devour it.
I am so done with the live, and I know this will be the Mustafa too. I'm so done with the
live action Disney movies. We're gonna get to Mufasa.
I'm so done with the live action Disney movies. It's like, listen, your animation, especially these classics, they're classics for a reason, and the animation is why. Stop doing the fucking live action.
Yeah. Well, and I cannot get over the arrogance of Disney to decide. It was maybe 12 years ago. We'll call it 12 to 15. But I think Snow White and the Huntsman and Mirror Mirror came out in the same summer, like 2013. And what was the difference? One was panned because it was terrible. And they smacked real human faces onto real human dwarves that didn't have those faces.
Yes.
And it looked weird and bad. And we all hated it.
Very much
and
so.
then you had Mirror Mirror, which was widely acclaimed by everybody who saw it, and just had fucking dwarves. They just had dwarves as part of the plot. And Disney looked at these options and said, we could CGI some dwarves.
Well, remember, one of the main reasons for this option was the Peter Dinklage fallout, where he said, where he came out and said, I stopped casting dwarves as dwarfs. But then you have the dwarf actors that are not Peter Dinklage that are like, hey, fucker, we want these roles.
Yeah.
Put the dwarfs in it. We want to do it. This is like the only things we're getting.
It's weird. It's bad.
Yes.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
It's politically all over the place.
No.
I just don't get it.
I don't get it either.
And it's going to be the story of this movie. Nobody's going to care about anything else that happens. There's no way anything else happens in this movie that is more gripping or interesting than CGI dwarves.
Yeah.
That is the movie.
Yeah.
That's the entire thing.
And it's like the part, like, I can understand, you know, little people not wanting to be just typecast.
Oh, 100%.
But dwarves is not only a legitimate fantasy creature, but it is an actual name for dwarfism, is the name for
and so
whatever you want to call the medical term for...
What I saw was someone point out, so your options were make CGI dwarves or make it so that the dwarves aren't fully one-dimensional.
Yeah.
So that they're interesting, dynamic characters. And you said, no, we want to keep the one-dimensionality, so we're just going to make them CGI.
Because, like, I don't know if you've ever seen a great movie called The Station Agent. Peter Dinklage's first movie.
A long time ago.
He played a character who has dwarfism, but it was one of the most beautiful acting roles I've ever seen. And it's like, yeah, like you said, you could have created those characters, but given them depth.
Yeah.
And had actual actors act.
Yeah. Well, you look at Cyrano, which he made a few years ago.
So good.
And it's just you switch one thing for another, but it doesn't take away from anything. I'm not saying we all take the Terry Gilliam approach, where dwarves are only used for surrealism. But, like...
Look at fucking Willow.
Yeah.
The movie, not the show. The show sucks.
Yeah.
But the movie.
The movie.
The lead character is a fucking...
Well, look at the village of Nelwyn.
Oh, I love that village.
Like, it's so good.
I would live in that fucking
village. And they have
village.
A warrior. They have warriors.
Yes.
They have wizards. They have everything. And I don't get this.
I don't get it.
I don't get this as a decision.
I don't get it either.
You have so much time that you have to fill to take this movie... to whatever length you're going to take it to.
Just don't fucking do it. If you can't do it right, just don't fucking do it.
Then don't fucking do it.
So I wish there was somebody in the Disney world that would just stand there and go, no. And slap hands when they come up with these ideas. No.
Honestly, I think they need to shutter the doors for like 3 years and go on like a ayahuasca-based vision quest to like get their heads straight, because this has got to stop.
It's so bad.
So I'm just going to glance off of Agatha all along because I have literally nothing new to say about it. I'm still angry about them stealing Wiccan as a character from themselves. It is so upsetting and frustrating, and I just don't get it as a decision.
And you could just see them like, oh, I got an idea.
Yeah.
Let's put a snarky Aubrey Plaza in there, and that'll make everything
What role
great.
does she play? So everybody can see her.
Is she a zombie when she comes
Well,
out
I think
of the...
she's the villain. She's the big bad.
Yeah.
The premise of the show, I guarantee you, is the first episode is Agatha Harkness remembering everything. And then from there on, she's going to get this idea. I can only get my powers back if I get this wish, which I can only get by going down the witch's road.
Yes.
And so she puts together a team of people that she can push into the buzzsaws as she goes down the witch's road. And the entire time, she seems really nice and really authentic, but the entire time, she's planning on just fucking killing everybody in that traveling party. But don't you know it? Over time, they become like a family, and she just can't bring herself to do it. Meanwhile, Aubrey Plaza is sitting here tempting her the entire time, saying, you could have your power back. You could have your power back. You just have to get rid of these idiot kids. You just have to get rid of these people around you. You just have to get rid of this old woman. And she's just going to have to deal with that over and over and over again. And then you're going to get to the end, and everybody's going to realize that Agatha has been a bad person all along. And that's when you're going to get that scene. Last one there's a nice person.
Oh my God.
This sucks.
That looks so bad.
This sucks. I guarantee you that is the entire season, with just different adventures thrown in based off of The Exorcist or Haunting in Connecticut or fucking what's the one with not Josh Brolin, James Brolin, and
Something Wicked This Way Comes?
No, well, there's that one, but also
Amityville Horror, yeah.
Like, I just...
Well, and I wonder if this show was similar to Loki season 2 for different reasons, but similar to where they're like, we already have it filmed.
Yeah.
We know it's going to bomb, even though Loki season 2 for some reason did well, even though you have a woman abuser as the main bad guy.
Because Tom Hiddleston still brings in people.
Oh, he's still in Kiwa Kwan. But like, I think they had this shot, and then they've had all of these string of bad movies and TV shows, and they're like, fuck. Well, we already have it filmed.
They developed a method, and they mass produced off this method.
Yeah.
And the method is inherently flawed, which is why everything Marvel has made feels exactly the same and has all the same problems. It's because at some point, Kevin decided the way to make TV, unlike the last 50, 70 years of history, the way to make TV according to Kevin is to bring in somebody to write it who's interested in the project. They write a version of it. Then you fire them. Then you change everything based off of that version of the project. Then you bring in another person to shoot the thing. Then you fire them. Then you bring in another person to run all the CGI so you can fix it all in post.
Yeah.
That is the Marvel method. That's how they've made all of their TV shows, and it's why so many of them are bad.
Yeah.
You know, people get angry about House of Dragons not coming back for 2 years. And they're like, but like, for so many years, we had shows that just came back every fall. They finished in the spring. We had the summer off. We came back in the fall every year. How I Met Your Mother was playing every year. You know, fucking Breaking Bad was every year. You know, it didn't have like these massive gaps to shoot the thing. And I'm just sitting here like, you think that's bad?
No, I know, seriously.
At Marvel, we fully regressed from even understanding how to make a TV show, let alone the timeline for getting the TV show made. Just making the damn thing is bad. I agree with you 100%. They made a bunch of these, and now like Funko Pops of Shazam! Fury of the Gods or fucking Obi-Wan.
Damn. Yes.
Like, they are just going to be on Target shelves for fucking ever.
Yep.
And that's what these shows are.
It's not Big Lots. It's like Bob's something or...
Bob's Furniture Outlet or whatever
it's something like that. And there were Wakanda Forever toys.
Yeah.
For the 6 months, the same toys, and they were like $2.
Yeah.
And no one bought them.
No, this is the thing. I love Funko Pops.
Yeah.
I do. You guys need to severely change how you produce merchandise because it's bad. And you know it's bad because you had to sell off entire warehouses.
Yeah, they're oversaturating the market.
Way oversaturating the market with things that nobody wants.
Yeah, like that awful looking video game that's going to be coming out, which looks horrendous. It looks like a PS1 game.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the graphics on that trailer. I was just shocked.
So bad.
I was like, what is this? How is this a thing? And the only good thing about it is that's getting us a Hot Fuzz pop figure. That's the only good thing.
That is true.
That's the only good thing about it.
That is true. Nicholas Angel.
So we're going to close out. Well, we still have to talk about Kraven. Fuck.
Oh, God.
Okay, let's talk about fake real lions, and then we'll talk about fake lions. Okay, so fake real lions, Mufasa, the Lion King. Did you know? Holy shit. Have you seen Lion King?
Of course I have.
Now, did you know that was all a lie? Like, top to bottom, the whole thing was a lie. Because Mufasa didn't have a pride. He's just some guy wandering in off the street. You know who was going to be king? Fucking Scar. Fucking Scar, whose name isn't Scar, it's Taka. And he's the one that wants Mufasa around. And when his dad is like, no, Scar's going to be king, Scar's like, no, I want Mufasa around. And then something happens. We have a musical number, and something happens, and that pride falls apart. And then we gotta address Kimba the White Lion without addressing Kimba the White Lion. If you don't know what Kimba the White Lion is, it's basically Lion King. It came out a few years earlier. It's from Japan.
It's so bad.
Not even the Circle of Life is part of Mufasa's lineage.
Nope.
That's a thing Scar's mom introduced to him. So the whole thing is a lie.
Yep.
The whole thing. This is... Scar was a Nepo baby who had his binky stolen, and that's why he's so mad.
Yep.
Also, can you imagine Mufasa calling him Scar for the entire period after watching this movie? Holy shit!
Yeah.
What is this?
And why the fuck in a prequel movie is Timon and Pumbaa?
Oh, well, that's just a narrative, a framing device.
And that, though, gave me it. So, for those of you who don't know, I do love The Lion King.
Oh, I love The Lion King.
But my favorite movie of that series is Lion King 1.5, which is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern is dead, but with Timon and Pumbaa playing those characters.
Because
it's so fucking good.
Well, and if you don't know, Lion King is just Hamlet.
Yes.
It's just the story of Hamlet.
Exactly. And this looks like they're fucking with that, and that made me even madder. Because I'm like, you don't, like, I'm sorry. I love that fucking movie. so much that it's like, that made me so mad.
I was watching the trailer and my jaw just fell.
Yeah.
From the beginning on.
It's so bad.
I was just shocked.
Like, who had that idea?
Who wrote this and why? And why is it being presented as this Oscar bait by Barry Jenkins? Like fucking Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire. What is this?
Like, are you gonna do a prequel to Beauty and the Beast, and you're gonna find out that the Beast, before he became a prince, was best friends with Gaston?
Well, not only was he best friends with Gaston, he was actually a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And this whole thing that we've been told where he was really rude, not a thing.
Nope.
What ended up happening, what really happened, was that Prince Adam told this woman, after 6 weeks, you got to get out of my house.
Yeah.
And she cursed everybody in the house.
Cursed everybody.
And that's what actually happened.
Yeah. And it's like, dude,
this sucks.
It's real. Like, that was atrociously bad.
I was floored.
Yeah.
I could not believe it.
And especially, I understand that the live action Lion King made over $1 billion. It made a ton of money.
Yeah.
It is like the Nintendo Wii, that everyone saw it right away, but then it got panned after it had been out for long enough. And the panning was, you should never have made these photorealistic animals that were supposed to emote, but they don't emote because they're animals.
Well, and you're
redoing it.
But that was by design. That's the thing that makes me the most crazy.
Yes,
was
exactly.
that was by design.
Exactly.
They wanted it that way. That was how they wanted it to look. And it just... Why?
So you're gonna do it again? Even though you were fucking panned and everyone said, yeah, it's...
this is the story that you're gonna use to support it?
Bombs.
Oh my God,
how could it not? Bomb.
How could it not?
Because there are idiots that'll go out and fucking see it and be like, oh, well, it's Disney and I love it. And it's like, no, you can't. Like, you should never have seen Aladdin, the fucking live action one, because they changed too fucking much and they changed songs and they changed
There's only one moment in the live action Aladdin I like. The entire movie's terrible. I hate that movie. I love Guy Ritchie. He had no business directing this movie. No. There's no reason for it. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Nope.
It's not in line with his vision for filmmaking. I don't get it.
Nope.
The only good scene in that entire movie is when they're having the back and forth after they get out of the Cave of Wonders, and Carpet builds the Disney castle and throws sand over it.
Yeah.
Like the Disney swing. And I was like, that's the best thing that's happened in this entire fucking movie. Entire fucking movie.
And I'll be honest, if it wasn't for my children, I never would have made it past the beginning where the genie's on a boat with his family. And I'm like, how do you go from such a great entrance of obviously Robin Williams singing as this vendor to the fucking genie with his family on it? I was like, fuck this thing.
I just love that they had this idea of there's no way we could recreate Robin Williams' performance. So what we're going to do is take somebody with just as big a personality as Robin Williams and use him. Terrible idea.
Terrible idea.
Awful idea.
Yes.
Awful idea. Yes. I think you just got to not do it.
There you go. and that's what they should have done with this line.
That's one of my favorite lines from Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Do it.
Is he's in the meeting with Bill Murray, the Badger,
That's right.
And the Badger is going over all the reasons not to invest in this property, and he ends by saying, at the end of the day, I think, bottom line, you just gotta not do it, that's all.
Just gotta not do it.
And that has been my reaction to 90% of Disney media.
And that's gotta be the Disney logo from now, or like... That's what they need to look at every day. Is maybe you should just not do it.
Just maybe don't do it.
Just don't.
Just maybe don't do it.
Hey, let's get Robert Downey Jr. as Doc Doom. Hey, how about you?
Maybe just don't. Just maybe don't do it. I saw somebody posted a meme that was Kevin saying to someone, "Get me the guy from Oppenheimer," but he couldn't remember Cillian Murphy's name, and so his assistant was like, "Gotcha, boss."
I don't know. I still love the meme where it has his character from Tropic Thunder and it says Wakanda 3.
I love they've now made one with many characters from many different movies where he is just every Avenger now. Because you did this to yourself. You did this to yourself.
I have indigestion over that.
Speaking of indigestion and the corrosive my own soul, Kraven the Hunter has a new trailer that came out, and wouldn't you know it, the thumbnail tells you everything you need to know. Holy shit.
I give Fox credit. They were 0-1 with Juggernaut, and then they became 1-1.
And then they went to like a 1-1-1 kind of
right
situation.
Now they're 0-2 with the Rhino.
Are we 0-2? Is it only 2? I guess it is only 2.
Yeah, Paul Giamatti and this one are the only 2 Rhinos.
Yeah.
And they are not only 0-2, they're they're losing 75-0, 0-2 in both games.
It's really bad.
That's how bad this is.
Like, I didn't think you could fuck up the Rhino story this bad. You have, for the record, you have 3 rhinos to choose from. You have 3 rhinos to choose from. So they chose Alexei Tsevich because he's Russian, and Kraven is Russian. And so he's going to be a Russian scientist who's working against the Kravenov line for whatever stupid reason. And apparently he's smarter than fucking Kurt Connors because he has a serum that he can just inject, become Rhino Boy, turn back into regular human, no problem.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, there's a lot of Spider-Man villains that would kill to be able to do that. They are the beneficiary of terrible experiments that worked out very badly for them and corrupted them on genuinely deep levels. But I guess you just got this one figured out, huh?
It's so bad.
You could have gone
so bad.
with... listen, I like Alexei's. Alexei's fine.
Yes.
Alexei's a cool guy. I can dig Alexei. I like Alex O'Hearn. Alex O'Hearn is my Rhino. He's from Brooklyn. He's an idiot. He just wears a big rhino suit and is indestructible.
Yes.
And kind of just indiscriminately destructive. I love that Rhino. That's not this.
No.
It's not this.
No.
This is so bad. And, like, not only narratively is it terrible, the CGI is horrendous.
Horrible.
It's so bad. Yeah. It's like you just can't help but look at it.
This is like 2008, 2009 CGI. It's like the face is all fucked up.
It's all bad. Like, the design is bad. The look is bad. The transformation looks bad.
Yes.
And then we get into everything else. We were talking before the show that this is kind of like a second teaser.
Yes.
The first teaser came out and it was bad. And everybody said, this looks terrible.
Yep.
And then Sony said, okay, so for the next trailer, we're just going to do another teaser.
Yes.
And it's not really going to tell you much about what's happening, but it's going to tease a lot of things. And as a result of that, Aaron Taylor Johnson doesn't say a goddamn thing in English in this trailer.
And that was our number one complaint, is that he spoke with an American accent, perfect English, and in this he speaks in Russian in the scene in the beginning, and that doesn't say a fucking word.
A fucking word the entire rest of the trailer.
Like, how do you have your protagonist not fucking say anything?
Like, this is insane.
It's obvious they're fucking terrified.
This is insane. Yeah. I genuinely think we were joking. I don't even think it's joking at this point. I think it's true. This is what Sony thinks success looks like.
Yes.
Sony has gone so far down the bad well, and they've just been gulping the water of Morbius and Madam Web. And they say, well, it made money, and people were talking about it. We were the height of the internet for weeks. But just like how you could say that breakdancing at the Olympics didn't work because Ray Gunn was a thing, then you didn't fucking watch Breaking at the Olympics!
Yes.
You don't know the name Phil Wizard, do you? Because holy shit, everything you guys are complaining about not being there was there. But you selected this one clip of this one person who should never have been given the opportunity to do this.
Oh, I can't remember his name. It was like the Asian guy in the first season of American Idol that sang awful. And that's all they talked about.
Yeah.
Was that guy.
Sanjaya or whatever it was.
No, not Sanjaya. It was, I honestly can't remember his name. He sang, she bangs. But it's like, I mean, I remember that now. And I haven't watched that show, but that was fucking 20 years ago.
This is what I'm saying.
But yeah,
this is what Sony thinks success looks like now. And it's infuriating because you want to fuck around with Morbius? Fine, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
You want to fuck around with Madam Web? Who fucking cares? It's Madam Web. I'll be angry because I care. I care. But, like, generally speaking, the world at large, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Right? I care, but nobody else does. Venom, listen, we had one bad Venom. If we have 3 more bad Venom movies, throw them on the pile. We're getting kind of inured to this kind of nonsense. Now you're getting to the shit that matters.
Yeah.
This is the shit that people care about now. And I've heard rumors, I can't substantiate it, but I've heard rumors that Marvel can't use any of the villains that Sony is using in their movies in the Spider-Man canonical movies.
Yep.
Because they're taken up at Sony.
Yep.
And that was part of the deal that they cut. Are you fucking out of your goddamn mind? This is how you're approaching it?
Well, it's executives that don't understand.
Avia Rand and Amy Pascal need to be thrown in jail.
I agree.
Like, this is criminal.
And what the fuck has happened to Russell Crowe? He's either making bad superhero movies or he's priest possessed.
Well, he's doing like the Bruce Willis from 2005 to like 2015.
Like, the one thing you could always say, Bruce Willis was never really a good actor. He was
Russell
good
Crowe
in
is
his
a genuine actor.
Russell Crowe was a great actor, and it's like,
well, I love him in The Nice Guys. He's so good in
The Nice Guys. He's great. The Cinderella Man, Gladiator.
I forgot about Cinderella Man.
I mean, he's a great actor. And it's like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah. What is this?
Why are you with this terrible? I mean, I'm getting, when I see him in this trailer and in the first trailer, I get vibes of Anthony Hopkins in Wolfman. Yeah. Even though I love Wolfman, it's like,
he eats but like, again, there's a line, right? We were talking about Jeremy Irons in Dungeons and Dragons, right? One of the things that you can look at that and say, this is a terrible performance. But at least it's a terrible performance that's cranked to 10 the entire time. And Anthony Hopkins in The Wolfman, same thing.
Yeah. It's a terrible performance by a great actor.
Terrible performance by a great actor who's just going all in. They're just all in.
Really, the Jeremy Irons performance, if you take that performance in Dungeons and Dragons, and then you take his performance in, what's that Orlando Bloom movie?
Kingdom of Heaven?
Kingdom of Heaven. It's not far off. And the Kingdom of Heaven one, you're like, God damn, he's a really good actor. And then the Dungeons and Dragons, you're like, oh, he's so hammy. But and you put them together, you're like, it's not far off. It's in that ballpark.
I gotta get it.
Yeah.
So Kraven looks terrible.
That looks like
shocker
dog
to no
shit.
one. Why isn't Chameleon the actual villain of this story?
I don't get it.
I don't fucking get it. He's literally Dmitry Kravenov is an important, huge character. You may have heard of him on occasion. The Chameleon kind of causes problems in Spider-Man's life.
I still say I will be shocked if this movie is released in theaters.
I really hope they can it. I really hope that it just quietly goes away.
Because once again, people forget, this is the new James Bond.
Yeah.
And the last thing he will do before James Bond is Kraven the fucking Hunter.
Which they're going to want to make more of.
Well, not only make more of, they don't want it to be another Madam Web leading into James Bond. And it's looking like it is going to be another Madam Web.
I think Sony doesn't care about that. James Bond isn't their property. They don't care about that.
True.
James Bond is an MGM property. That's owned by Amazon.
Yeah.
They do not care
That's true.
that Aaron Taylor Johnson is going to look like an idiot. You know, you look at Black Swan and No Strings Attached. Black Swan, Natalie Portman wins the Oscar. The very next movie that she's in is No Strings Attached, which is about her and Ashton Kutcher.
Yep.
And what's the movie after that? Your Highness.
Yeah.
Which was a weed comedy
that was a terrible
with Danny
movie.
McBride. Yeah. So, like, they don't fucking care. Yeah.
I'm wondering if Amazon will fork up money to say, just don't.
Will they buy the rights to Kraven and just put it on ice?
Yes.
I don't know. I still say this is what Sony thinks success looks like.
Because like I mean, what was the thing that Daniel Craig, his last big role prior to getting Bond was Layer Cake, which is a great fucking movie. I mean, he was in that.
I don't know. That's still a really. That's still. I wouldn't call that a big movie.
No, it's not a
British
big movie,
gangster movie,
but it's a really good movie.
No, it's a good movie, but I would say like the last thing people recognized him from was Tomb Raider.
Oh God, I don't even.
But this is what I'm saying.
He was such a side. There are times I'll rewatch that Tomb Raider, and I'll fucking forget that he's in it, and then I hear the voice. I'm like, oh, that's right, they dubbed his voice.
They redubbed all of his dialogue.
So bad.
Yeah, no, this is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I'm saying.
I don't know.
So
this is terrified.
This is going to be a trash pile. Get ready.
Yeah.
But just like how do you remember that terrible IHOB where they became the International House of Burgers and they said they were going that was a successful campaign.
That's true.
In the eyes of many advertising people.
That's true.
This is what success looks like. You're being talked about, you're making money. You're at the head of the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
They do not care.
But they didn't make money off of Black Widow and Morbius. I think they
Madam Web, they did. They did
make
in post. They made a lot on Netflix residuals and that kind of stuff.
Oh.
So it was seen as a success.
Jesus Christ.
These are the same idiots who saw the internet's reaction to Morbius and said, let's re-release it.
As a joke.
They're not they don't understand. So they don't get it. No. These are the same people that after Across the Spider-Verse came out, they came out and said, we're going to have the next one out in March. And the animators all said, no, we aren't. Mm-hmm. That's not gonna happen. These are the same idiots.
Yeah.
And this is their baby.
Oh, one quick thing before we sign off and go on to our little break before we move on. There was also another positive, just because I'm a massive fan of this franchise. Tron Ares. I
haven't seen enough about that. I've seen it floating.
I've seen enough. Like, I love the first two Tron movies. The first one's a little quiche. The second one has a couple cringy moments, but I still fucking love it.
I love it. It's stupid so and fun. It's a stupid fun. That is a dollar theater movie.
Oh, yeah.
That is the epitome of a dollar theater movie.
I'll be honest, I'm wearing my Flynn's t-shirt. I don't know why I haven't thought about it. But I'm very excited. Yeah. The only really big, they showed a couple of scenes supposedly with Jeff Bridges back as Flynn, even though he kind of died at the end of
the last one.
But they have Nine Inch Nails doing the music for it. I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
See, that's one of the things I love about the second one is that Daft Punk did and it's one of the best soundtracks of any movie.
And the visuals are so fucking good.
The visuals, like, if you had seen Tron and then you watch Tron Legacy, you're like, oh, this is what it was supposed to be.
Yes.
This is what it was all supposed to be.
Now, when I say visuals, I'm not talking about the de-aging.
No.
Just the visuals.
We're talking about the light cycles.
Yeah, the light cycles and the world in general was pretty awesome. All right, folks. Well, we got to take a little break, and then we will be back to do our big trivia extravaganza.
Wahoo! Yay!